It is winter again, not my favorite season, but there is nothing I can do about it. I have several videos on the channel for what to take with you on the trip. But in this now, I'm gonna tell you what you shouldn't carry, or the most pointless items on a long motorcycle trip. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back. Everything that I'm about to say in this video is my personal opinion that I built by riding thousands of kilometers in many places around the world. Of course, this doesn't mean that I'm always right or everybody else's opinion is wrong. Feel absolutely free to agree, disagree, questioning or comment on everything that I'm about to say. The idea of this video is to provide a different perspective, which one you probably haven't seen so far. I don't want to change the way you understand the motorcycle world or the way you travel. Always keep in mind that this is your life, your trip, and the final decisions with possible benefits or consequences after that will be only yours. Alright, enough rambling, let's finally start with these 5 pointless items that I have promised. Number 1. Computer. Unless you're a professional YouTuber and you need to edit and upload videos every single day, which by the way is not necessary at all, or your professional work requires your online presence all the time, I would advise to leave your computer at home. There are many reasons why, but I'm gonna point you out only 2 of them. The first is that because the computers usually are very heavy, they require a specific back, they cost a lot of money, and they're too fragile. So if you plan a lot of kilometers, especially some off-road or adventure trips, it will be very easy to damage it, or at least it will be a big problem in your luggage all the time. The second is actually the main reason why I don't carry computer with me, is because it takes a lot of time from my not so much precious time that I have to complete the trip that I have planned. The second is cooking stove. Petrol, gas or whatever fuel it uses, just leave it at home. I know that many of you will disagree on this topic, but let me first tell you what are my arguments and why I don't have it with me. The main reason I don't have it with me is because it is expensive to buy it and heavy to carry it with you. And here you might have your contra arguments and say, Pavlen, listen, my cooking stove is very light and very cheap. Yes, fair enough. But you cannot do anything only with a cooking stove. You will definitely need a gas bottle, petrol bottle, or another chamber, whatever fuel it uses. You cannot have only the stove. It is pointless without the gas bottle or petrol bottle. And then after that you're gonna need some kind of pot in which one you're gonna cook something. Then you're gonna need fork, knife, spoons, and if you want to buy a really quality stuff that is not so heavy, it will cost you at least $200–300 until you collect everything. Everything that you need to cook, for example, prefabricated food or make coffee. And all of this will weigh at least 1 kilogram, and it will be 1 kilogram if you have a nice quality stuff, which is expensive. But if you have something cheap, it will be even more. Of course, you will resist again and will say, Pavlen, I don't mind this 1 or 2 kilograms, but it will give me the chance to have fresh coffee every morning. Again, fair enough, but how many days you plan to spend in the tent? If you have 50% of the time in the tent and 50% of the time in guest house or hotel, then 50% of the time you can make your own coffee. And please don't tell me that even in the hotel or guest house you will use your stove to make the coffee. Over there you will find already cooking plates and everything, and you don't need your stove anymore. And also the main reason, I can make my coffee, okay, but for your motorcycle you need petrol, right? So every time when you need to put a petrol in your motorcycle, you need to go to the petrol station. And in every petrol station you can buy coffee. So I do not see the real reason, oh, I need my coffee. Okay, you can wake up in your tent and after 10 minutes you'll be on the first petrol station or coffee and you will have it. If it's that important for you, I would suggest better is just to give it up. Yes, you have heard me right. If you cannot survive or if you cannot start your day without the coffee, my advice is just give it up before the trip. It will be difficult for 1 week, but everything is going to be absolutely right. And the trip will be so much easier. when you don't need to worry about coffee, when you don't have this addiction, the things became so much simple and nice. Believe me, I know this from my personal experience. There is no way to give up coffee, Pavlen. I need it. This is my morning routine. Okay, fair enough. As I said, it is your trip, it is your life, it is your time. But also, you don't need to think that, oh, I gave up the coffee forever. You can return to this habit when you get back home, when you have your coffee machine and everything is around, and when you have enough time. Otherwise, you have to carry this stove and the pot and everything, like 1 or 1.5 kilograms, this bulky bag, all the time in your luggage. And again, you might say 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms, doesn't matter, but when you have one here, one there, and you'll finish with 50 kilograms of luggage. Well, listen, Pavlen, maybe you're right if it's only for coffee, but you forget that I can also prepare a delicious and cheap food by this stuff, right? And then this 1 kilogram sounds not so bad if I can save money from food. Technically, you can, but I seriously doubt in these words, cheap and delicious. They just don't work together. Cheap and delicious, I don't know. All of these highly processed foods are nothing more than a calorie garbage, labeled and packaged like a super meal and usually cost like a dinner in a normal restaurant. Usually, packets with beef, pork, chicken or some other meat will cost you like 10 to 15 euros. If they are with vegetables, potatoes or some beans or something, they might be half of the price. And don't forget that all of these packages are usually like 150, 200 grams, which is maybe enough for someone who is 60 kilograms born in Asia, but not for someone with my size. Just because you're not gonna give any money during the trip, this might give you the impression that you're saving money, but don't forget that you have to pay for all of these packages in advance or during the trip, whatever you plan to buy it. So the idea to save money, it's maybe good or look good, but I don't think that it's really possible. And don't forget that you're gonna miss one of the best opportunities to try local food, which is, in my opinion, something great. Also, don't forget that each one of these packages weighs something. It might be just 200 grams, but when you have 10, it is 2 kilograms. And it is your food for 5 days if you eat twice per day, which I cannot really see how you're gonna survive with 200 grams of rice or pasta twice per day. But anyway, this is a different story. So I absolutely agree that it's a good idea to cook your food, but for that purpose, you're gonna need something else. You need a bigger pot, you'll need a lot of probably local products, you need a lot of time, you'll need a lot of different things, you'll need a better cooker, and all of this is not possible with the small stove and gas bottle that you have. And then even if you're able to do it there, where are you gonna eat it? You need plates as well. So you're gonna carry a plate as well. So you see, the whole idea is wrong right from the beginning. Or maybe it's more accurate to say the idea will work perfectly fine if you plan to have just a camping trip and you don't care about the luggage and you bring everything with you. Or if you're with camper, of course you're gonna have everything. And don't forget also that when you finish, you need also to wash and clean all of this stuff, which is mean that you're gonna need some kind of cleaning materials as well. So, for your information, on many of my trips, I had the cooking stuff with me. Also a small pot and spoon and fork and knife and everything that I need. Even a very small plate. So it's not that I don't have any idea what it is. I also brought a lot of these packages with food. I tried to prepare my meals a few times. I use it a few times to make coffee, but I use it a few times because I had it with me. It's not because I did not have any other options, if you understand what I mean. Because I carry this stove for thousands of kilometers, I said okay, let's at least make a coffee or some food that I already have. It is only worth having it if you plan some kind of really wild trip without any access to civilization. But then this is something else and it requires completely different preparation. Number 3 is to carry a winch with you. This is the most ridiculous item that I ever seen on a motorcycle trip. If you need to drag your motorcycle from a travel with the help of winch, that is only means that you already made a terrible mistake with your motorcycle choice in the first place. They are too expensive, too heavy, and they won't help much. Yes, I will agree, they might be useful in specific situations, but it will be the same with metal rope, big levers, jack, and anything else. Does it mean that we have to carry all of this stuff with us on the trip? As I said, these winches are heavy, but they're also bulky, which means another one storage problem. If the whole idea is to have some kind of help on an adventure trip, I'll advise to start with the proper motorcycle choice. Then optimize your luggage as light as possible. And when it comes to the idea of the winch, it won't make sense anymore, because you don't need it, because you have a proper motorcycle, light luggage, and you probably won't go alone. So where exactly the winch will fit? Number 4 is to carry a spare chain and sprockets with you. I have seen this on my trips as well, and when I asked the owners of these motorcycles why did not change the chain and sprockets before the trip, the usual answer is, well, because I still got some miles on the old and I want to finish it first, maybe to save some money and stuff like that, and to have a spare with me. I said, eh? A good quality chain and sprockets changed before the trip will last at least 20-25,000 kilometers with a minimum care, which is mean spread once per day or every other day, or maybe after heavy rain. So remember, everything you do before the trip will help you during the trip, even to save money. Also keep in mind that you can extend the life of the chain if you change the front sprocket on around 12 to 15,000 kilometers, which is mean that you're gonna gain at least maybe 30,000 kilometers from the same chain. I'm talking about normal 520 chain. If you have 525 or bigger, it will last even longer. Of course, if you don't race with this motorcycle, if you ride it with a normal speed, if you race, if you're riding very fast, if you wheelie, it's a different story. But in normal conditions, as I said, 25-30,000 kilometers without any problems. And then you can ask me, okay, but what I'm gonna do when it's finished? Then you're gonna change it. In almost every big town, you'll be able to order and receive a chain and sprockets without any problems. Now, for example, when I was coming back from Magadan, my chain finish, DID chain finished on 36,000 kilometers without almost any care. For the whole trip, I used only 2 chain sprays. So it survived 36,000 kilometers in any kind of conditions that you can imagine. Dust, rain, a lot of mud, and no care at all. And I was able to change it. And in Poland, when I finally decided to change it, I waited 2 days for chain. But I can easily order it in advance, and I did not need to wait. So this is what I'm talking about. You don't need to carry anything with you. A set of chain and sprockets will weigh around 5 kilograms and will take a lot of space in your luggage. That's why forget about it. Chain breaker, it's a different story. It will weigh around 200 grams and will be very, very important if you need to change your chain, because it is something specific and you wouldn't be able to find it in last minutes. That's why if you need to carry something, take chain breaker instead of chain. It becomes a really long video, I'm sorry guys, but I cannot make it faster. Anyway, number 5, this is chain cleaner sets. Usually people worry about their chains and they prefer to clean it once per 2,000 kilometers or something like that. And some people, I have seen this as well, carry chain cleaner sets with them on the trips, which is mean another probably around 1 kilogram with you. Which is mean the cleaner, the flacons, and maybe the brush and everything. And this is something that you don't need it, because as I told you just a minute ago, my chain survived 36,000 kilometers without any care. So I don't clean the chain even at home. So why I have to do it when I travel? Once again, 1 kilogram here, 1 kilogram there, and everything accumulated and became a really heavy luggage. You don't need to do it at all. In my opinion, if you cannot afford to change the chain and sprockets on your motorcycle once per 20 or 30,000 kilometers, maybe before the trip or once per year, any chain cleaners or expensive oilers won't help you at all. Even if you take them with you on the trip, there will be only extra weight in your luggage. So as I said, if you cannot afford it, maybe it's a time to reconsider your decision and change your form of transportation. I really hope that this video will help you at least one person to make the right choice. Press like or dislike, whatever it deserves. If you subscribe, even better. See you in the next one. Ciao.